What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris with the next set from TPL4. This is going to be from the playoffs, the losers bracket. It's going to be between Team Liquid, who got knocked down here by VP, and Fnatic, who got knocked down here by Alliance. So whoever wins this moves on to face the loser of Alliance versus VP, which I have not commented yet, so I can't spoil that even if I wanted to. And the winner, that's what the winner does. The loser of this goes home, takes 4th place in the tournament. I don't know what the prize money is. I'm sure there's something for them. But they have no more chance of getting into the grand finals and actually winning the entire thing. So there's a lot on the line for this particular game. Getting knocked down to the loser bracket right off the bat is definitely not what you want in any tournament. This one is not too hard because the losers bracket isn't so long. Like it's not like the MLG losers bracket where if you get knocked in from the first round, you're like screwed because you have to play like 3 times as many games. It's horrible. But we're just going to watch this game and see if there's going to be some good Dota. Fnatic going to run with 1 stand-in. Not too sure who Not Too Shab. I'm assuming that's Shabby. Not too sure who that is. But hopefully him being a replacement for Hani doesn't hamper Fnatic all too much versus Team Liquid. Looks like they're Team Liquid going to run with the full lineup. You know, from what I've seen of Liquid, they always have a full lineup. And that's nice to see. That might just be because I'm a bit of a Liquid fanboy, but I'm pretty sure I always see them with all 5. I'm just saying. They're going to open up their picks with the Nyx Assassin as well as the Brewmaster actually for the first, and then get an early game Chen. So Team Liquid looking for a lot of teamfight control with that Brewmaster pick right off the bat. Kind of an uncommon pick. Usually if there is a mid lane hero open, you know, what do you see? You see, especially against Team Liquid, you see a Storm Spirit being banned out. If you're against Korok, you see Queen of Pain, you see, I don't know, who else goes mid? You see Beastmaster more often. Brewmaster, as a mid, rarely you ever do see him banned, so Team Liquid going to pick that one up relatively early. Most likely will head towards the mid lane, where he's going to be met by either Magnus or Batrider. If it's Magnus, well, Team Liquid's going to hope it's Magnus. If it's Batrider, it's probably not going to be a happy Brewmaster. But seeing Fnatic's picks right now, I would say that Batrider would head up towards the top lane / jungle. Magnus would be mid. Gyrocopter and the 2 supports, which are currently being banned out by Team Liquid, is going to go towards the bottom lane. Just have a safe farmer. Could be an aggressive farmer as well, though Team Liquid getting rid of a lot of the setup support heroes. Not so much the damage support heroes, so I would not be surprised to see Liquid for their final ban out be the Bane. Fnatic, they're going to mostly target the hard carries as well as Bulba. They already know that the mid lane and all the support roles, so IX Mike and Fluff, are all taken care of with the 3 picks currently, so got to take care of that hard lane Bola, which would be a good reason to ban out the Nature's Prophet. Actually would help them a lot against the pushing from Nature's Prophet plus Chen combination. That's something you don't want to deal with. That would be a good ban, Windrunner, possibly a ban also, or Liquid might even go for a Weaver. But they also do need a hard carry in the form of TC, and really you would expect Team Liquid to run the tri-lane up top because of the fact that they do have the Chen, and well, in that situation there's not really much anyone could do. Batrider will have actually a decent time against that, just because he's ranged, and the carry that Team Liquid are going to pick is most likely going to be melee as well. So melee heroes versus Batrider, not a fun time if you are melee. But yeah, Team Liquid have their options wide open. Let's take a look at Fnatic. They do have 1 in every lane. They're just looking to get their core supports up. I think that their game plan is going to be play defensively, look for ganks in order to buy space for the Gyrocopter to farm, and make sure the Gyrocopter does get farm, and then 30 minutes into the game when the Gyrocopter is stacked, the Shadow Blade, drums, all that good stuff, then we'll make things happen with our blinking Magnus, our blinking Batrider, get the jump onto Team Liquid. And really, Team Liquid, the Brewmaster pick, going to make it really easy for Fnatic to choose their targets. I mean, who are you going to go for? Well, the Brewmaster. Every single time, because if he gets that split off, then you're screwed. But if you could lock him down before he gets the split, then you're going to be doing pretty well that fight. The final ban out is in fact going to be the Weaver, which we've seen Bulba use to varying degrees of success in the past. Really depends on the support cast that is up against that Weaver. So Liquid going to have their picks cut just a little bit short, and keep in mind that Fnatic do have the next pick. Although I think the Nature's Prophet still would be the best pick for Liquid. I mean, Fnatic, they're looking for pretty hard support heroes, and although Nature's Prophet can fill that role, he's definitely not the best hero to pick up if you want to have that role be filled. There's definitely better heroes to get, which is why Team Liquid going to ban out the Bane and then Fnatic going to pick up a, I don't know, maybe a Vengeful Spirit. They need a lot of control to make sure the Brewmaster doesn't get a split off, or they just need a lot of defensive capabilities. Lion's going to be banned, so Bane's going to be picked up by Fnatic. I will bet 10 gold in my next game that is going to be the pickup. But they just need as much lockdown as they can for the Brewmaster to kill him before he gets a split off. That means picking up silences or stuns, however you want to do it. It's very important that Fnatic do in fact make that happen. However, they do have to also worry about the fact that Nick Assassin is going to be roaming around with the Vendetta, and Fnatic actually going to go with the Gyrocopter. So with the Alchemist, I'm sorry, is going to be pushing the Gyrocopter into a support role, most likely for Alchemist to take that hard farming role. And he's a hero that if he does manage his BKB properly, then he won't have to worry about the Brewmaster ultimate as well at all, because he's so tanky. I mean, Brewmaster can't really do anything to hurt the Alchemist, and if Alchemist gets big enough, he can just fight the Brewmaster straight up and win every single time.
10 seconds remaining.
Fnatic going to really change their game plan and settle in for the long haul. They'll have the Alchemist with the Magnus and Power in the super late game, so really they're in no rush to do anything at all, really. Looks like the hard carry pickup for Team Liquid is going to be the Luna, so they're going to get a little more pushing from that. The Eclipse is, well, Luna is also very soft, so they have to watch out for the Batrider initiation. But if Team Liquid get enough stuff in between Luna and the Fnatic side, then, well, Fnatic are going to have a tough time dealing with those glaive bounces. Although Alchemist, if he does get a Shadow Blade, will definitely be able to do something like that. So the final pick from Fnatic, they have the Gyrocopter support. Who else is going to be a support hero? Between the Alchemist and the Gyrocopter, that's a solid dual lane. I was about to say Vengeful Spirit before, just as a stun, and it looks like they are in fact going to do it. So even more initiation now from Fnatic. They have Swap, they'll have a Blink RP, they'll have possibly a Shadow Bladed Alchemist with the Unstable Concoction, and then of course the Batrider. So Fnatic do have a lot of control, and if Team Liquid can manage that, if they could really control their stuns, control when they cast their spells, then they will be able to manage. But the hard thing is actually doing that. That's a lot to ask for. It's easy to say, almost impossible to do, because you don't know how many people from Fnatic are there. You don't know what the biggest threat is going to be. Should I save my stun for the Magnus? Should I just go for the Batrider right now? Or should I force staff my buddy out? Or should I wait until something else happens? This is all these things that Team Liquid are going to have to constantly be thinking about, just being up against so much support. So Liquid, what is their final pick up going to be? They would like a hero for Bulba, and he knows it's going to be up against an Alchemist Gyrocopter Vengeful. They could say screw the hard lane and just pick up a jungling hero. Darkseer is still in the pool, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them pick that one up either.
10 seconds remaining.
And we'll see in 10 seconds, so just take a small breather for 10 seconds, 5, and we'll figure out if it's Darkseer or if it's the other thing. There we go, it's Darkseer. What was the other thing that I said? Darkseer or Nature's Prophet would have been good too, but Darkseer is the final pickup for Team Liquid. So one of the heroes that can actually manage in a very, very aggressive tri-lane just by sending ion shells down, get a little bit of farm, probably, well, I mean, definitely will be zoned out. Ooh, it's going to be a support Alchemist. That's interesting. And I'm sure you guys know how I feel about support Alchemist. I would rather have a Sven, but, you know, Alchemist does, if he gets some time to farm, if he gets some kills and assists, he can really scale up really well. So Fnatic's late game looking absolutely fantastic. Between the Alchemist, Gyrocopter, and Empower, and the Command Aura? Vengeance Aura on Vengeful Spirit, they'll have a lot of late game power just coming out of these two carry heroes right here, even though they may not both be getting the most amount of farm, although Ira should. The Alchemist won't be getting the most amount of farm. They will only have to deal with one hard carry from Team Liquid. Bulba's wall is going to be very important come late game, just because of they'd want to turn around. If you get a Vengeful Spirit copy, you get the aura from that. You want to turn around the Gyrocopter, you want to turn around the Alchemist, and actually make that happen. Get a lot more damage out of those heroes and scale off of the enemies. And look at all these announcers. Oh my god. Alright, so let's first see if Not Too Shabby goes by anything else, and then we will look at everyone else, I guess, in the meantime. No Tail is going to be on the Magnus, soloing the mid lane. Fly going to be playing that Vengeful Spirit with those new textures. I have not seen her that much with them. Trixie is on the Batrider with Boots of Speed, so prepping for that hard lane. Ira is going to be playing the hard carry Gyrocopter. On the Liquid side, we have Mike playing Nyx Assassin. Bulba is going to be on the hard lane Darkseer. Good luck to you, sir. Fluff and stuff. Gonna be playing Chen riding a pig. Buttercup. Nice. The dead of battle can breed many an odd fungus. Buttercup just fine. It's a carnivorous boar pig that eats corpses.
30 seconds to showtime.
That's scary. Korok is going to be playing the Brewmaster in the mid lane, and that leaves TC on the Luna. Already picked up Lunar Blessing, so Luna's probably going to have an easy time versus Trixie. Ix Mike going to do the best zoning that he could possibly do. Is there a stick? There's not a stick on either of these heroes right now, so yeah, we're going to have Ira free farming this bottom lane, and let's see if Not Too Shabby is Jacko. Okay, Not Too Shabby is Not Too Shabby, so there you go. Him and Fly are going to be trying to lock down this lane. Between their two stuns, they can get a kill. It'll be more than enough time for Gyrocopter to get in close and unleash that rocket barrage, but I do think that the Alchemist and Vengeful Spirit are going to be kind of not doing too much this game. Bulba already taking a point in Ion Shell, and he's going to be in for a surprise. He is completely spotted out by the Observer Ward. If you keep going down this lane, Bulba, this could be trouble. Oh, this is going to be trouble. He's going to start shaking the potion. Bulba, run! No, Bulba, no! There's the Unstable Concoction. Fly going to follow up with the Magic Missile. Rocket Barrage as well. This is going to be the first blood going the way of the Gyrocopter. A beautiful start for Fnatic in this game. Gyrocopter getting first blood. 30 seconds into the game. You can't ask for a better possible start. And Bulba kind of getting a little bit complacent, didn't know what exactly the lanes were, and he just got caught a little bit blindsided. So now Darkseer knows that he's going to be up against a whole slew of stuns, and as I said before, it's more than enough time with the Unstable Concoction combined with the Magic Missile in order for Ira to get close, and level 1 Rocket Barrage does a lot of damage, so that is going to be a Darkseer that's forced to stay way far back, and I think it's probably going to be the jungle for him soon enough. On this mid lane, we have No Tail going toe-to-toe with Korok. Korok bullying the Magnus pretty hard, actually. Magnus does have the Shockwave, which does do some pretty decent damage, but the Brewmaster does have the Thunderclap, which the slow is going to make it damage trades go into the Brewmaster's favor. Combine that with the fact that he does have the evasion, as well as that crit chance from Drunken Brawler. If he does manage to get a lucky crit, then No Tail is going to be hurting. So this mid lane, just with these two heroes, I do favor the Brewmaster in this most of the time. No Tail probably is going to be getting a good amount of support from the two support heroes who may have made a second attempt at killing Bulba on this bottom lane, which I intentionally didn't look at because I knew Bulba wasn't going to die. I wasn't about to miss a kill or anything. That would be an amateur mistake. But unless No Tail gets some help, Korok should have the edge in this game, as long as he manages his Bottle Crow correctly, which he will. We now see Fluff and Stuff, who has been jungling thus far, level 2 only, going to find himself an invisibility rune. Unfortunately for Liquid, there's no one else on the top lane to gank, so Ix Mike and TC are just going to be farming this top lane. They're going to be perfectly okay with that. Experience for the Nyx, gold for Luna, and everyone's happy about that. Korok going to be gonna spot out that invisibility rune instead, so No Tail going to be forced to Bottle Crow. You see the Magnus actually going for a point in... Oh, okay. Thought he had stats. He did not. He was saving his points for Skewer, just in case he decided that he wanted to do that. Now No Tail gonna miss the Skewer onto Korok just because of that movement slow, making it so difficult for No Tail to actually navigate into the correct position and actually fight. Now Korok in trade hits with No Tail, the evasion helping with these damage trades because No Tail is gonna be forced to tank up creeps, whereas Korok is gonna be evading those creeps on occasion. Not the biggest factor because it is only a low level 1 skill, but with the Drunken Haze as well, Korok looking to make trades on this middle lane, and I do think the trades are going to favor him as the game moves on. And well, No Tail wants to get this deny. Will get it actually. No Tail completely out of bottle water, I guess. And Korok still has the invisibility rune, so he could actually turn this one around and try for a kill attempt, although No Tail hugging the tower. So in the meantime, top lane tower is being pushed down. Let's see if TC can nab the first hit blast on this. There it is. So Luna, you can see immediately after the tower drops, toggling off that Ring of Basilius aura. I always forget that aura. Oh, mid lane. We do have a gank attempt on... Oh, actually, Korok. Looks like the Hunter's become the hunted. Now Korok going to get stunned once by that Unstable Concoction. Fly already used the Magic Missile. Korok actually going to turn this around. Might get 2 kills right here. He's going to need a couple more hits. Oh, the clap just 1 second away from cooling down. And Magnus getting a little bit in over his head. I mean, there is a lot of setup between these two heroes. Vengeful Spirit and Alchemist. That's like what we have 1.45, let's say 2 seconds. Oh, Korok clapping, gonna die anyway to No Tail. Sticking around for a little bit too long. But there's a lot of setup time in the Fnatic supports, but what they have in setup time, they lack in damage. So even though the Magic Missile and the Concoction land, there's not really any damage to follow that up, especially when your mag dies immediately. Trixie gonna find level 4 off of this stacked up camp, gonna get 3 stacks of that. And Darkseer, where is he? He's still in the bot lane, actually. He's trying to mess with Ira with his Ion Shell just a little bit. He's getting a little bit of farm Bulba, getting a little bit of gold, but he's still only level 1. He's not having a good time at all. Should be the bottom of the EXP per minute chart, is the bottom of that chart, and Vengeful Spirit is actually quite a ways ahead with 18 more experience per minute. Korok and No-Tail both have hit the level 6 mark, so now it's just going to be a matter of, can Magnus skewer Korok into the tower at an HP amount that lets him kill without getting the split off. With not too shabby around, that could be a possibility. Korok going to depend a lot on this ultimate to keep him safe, as well as turn anything around for any potential counter kill. Keeping my eye mostly on this mid lane because everyone else is just farming. Fly's pulling the jungle, not too shabby, doing a little bit of roaming, Ira farming, and pretty much the exact same thing on the Liquid side. We do have Bulba, who decided to abandon that bot lane. About time, too. Fluff and Stuff not doing the hugest amount of pushing, has dipped out and taken the tier 1 on the top lane, but that's about it. So I feel like any action is going to happen on this mid lane, and any, especially with any roaming that's going to happen, because there's 4 heroes in the top part of this jungle, and there's 4 heroes in the bottom part of this jungle, so the only action that could possibly happen is in this mid lane, where we'll see if Korok can continue zoning out No-Tail. He is just barely ahead of this Magnus. He's keeping the Magnus away, but Magnus, with that long range in the Shockwave, is going to be able to last hit from a distance, so he'll be okay with that. And Korok just getting a little bit of an edge, and with the pushing that Korok has, that means he will have the rune control up to him, so double damage rune onto Korok. And in the meantime, top lane Fluff, where's his creep? It is a Wild Wing, so great pushing creep right here. You know, second only, I would say, to the damage creep, but toughness aura plus 3 armor to everyone. That's like an additional ring of Basilius right there. Korok might be going for a kill onto No-Tail. Doesn't have the mana for a split, however. He does have stick charges and bottle. Still, with the juking in this forest area, you never really want to go in there voluntarily unless they are very, very close to being killed, or else the jukes as well as the skewer out. That can mean the death of you. Top lane is being pushed. They have the Wild Wing just thinning out the creep wave just a little bit. Trixie is here, can disrupt it with the tornado. Looks like he's going to let the creep wave die to that tornado. The Wild Wing can tank everything up, and the tower does in fact die to the Dire. And Trixie actually finally throwing out that flame break, but it's a little bit too late, because Liquid now, even though they are technically 2 kills down, we actually got that second kill. Completely forgot. Europe. No-Tail, right, No-Tail got the kill on the Korok. They are 1 kill ahead, but they are 2 towers down, and they really don't have a whole bunch of pushing power. We do see now a potential push on this bottom lane, but then there is now someone to defend it. Bulba with level 2 Ion Shell actually does have the Soul Ring now, so he actually can push his way back a little bit. Ira with maxed out Flat Cannon, going to make it a little bit difficult for Bulba to do so. Got to watch out for a Magic Missile, and a dive can be very, very easy for Fnatic to pull off. We actually do see TC pushing the high ground just a little bit. Feels so secure in his positioning right now. He knows that there's 3 on this bottom lane, so what could possibly deal with him? A Batrider will probably not kill off the Luna. We now see a surge in from IX Mike, going to go for Fly, very low on HP. Cooldown's going to drop, however Fly is already dead. TC looking for an Eclipse. He just has to cast it, but he is stunned up because of the Alchemist. Still on the chase, the creep wave is going to come at the worst possible time. Ira is going to come in. Here comes the surge up. Korok going to get the clap onto Ira. This is a very dead gyrocopter right here. TC and Korok both going to get the kill, although Trixie coming in doesn't have the lasso though. Ira is going to die in the end to right clicks. Mag sent up into the air, and the Brewmaster now should probably get his way out of there. You see the Earth aspect running on out, with the rest of them doing as much damage as they can to the Alchemist. But it is going to be Liquid taking 2 kills. The tower is still alive. And Liquid bringing in the heat, bringing it in hard. Going to give Luna 1 kill as well as 1 assist. Going to give her a little bit of gold as well. And Fnatic really getting nothing for that. Korok did use the split. Magnus came in as well, but instantly sent up into the air, so his teleportation was pretty much wasted. He did nothing except for draw out that tornado, which doesn't really matter too much. Now we see Liquid going to pour on the aggression even more. They know the late game is Fnatic, so they have to deal with it in some way. And how are they going to deal with that? Well, they're just going to go for smoke gank. It looks like it's going to be the top lane who's going to be targeted. Fly smells something coming, perhaps. If they there's no Darkseer here, so they can't surge in. The smoke is not dispelled, actually. There was just on the edge, and now Fly might be in a little trouble, although it looks like No Tails is going to be a little bit of a tastier target. They could easily move up. Yeah, they're going to move up for Fly. And Luna's here. Just got to play it cool, Luna. But Fly is dead. Fly is so dead. You're completely surrounded. Impale to start off. Clap. Lucent Beam. Dead. Actually, no clap. Just Lucent Beam. Right clicks. Dead.
Dire's mid tower won't last.
Now, unfortunately for Liquid, that gank doesn't really mean that they can push any towers because, well, unless they want to go for tier 3s, which would be incredibly bold, probably not going to happen. They still do have to worry about Ira, who's free farming this game so far. Is going for Helm of Iron Will, so might be seeing an early Helm of the Dominator on this gyrocopter. I mean, Luna's gone for the Morbid Mask, so together maybe they could get together and complete that item. But Luna, I think, is mostly just so she can get a little bit more farm from the jungle. Is going to get the Helm of the Dominator, so is looking for a little bit more armor. Will help her a lot from the right-click heavy lineup of Fnatic. Their damage in the magic department kind of lacking. So if you can protect yourself from the gyrocopter, protect yourself from the right clicks from the Alchemist and the Vengeful Spirit after they launch their stuns, and you should be fine. But the bottom lane tower, Ira still pushing that one out, almost being brought down to deny range. So another push should bring that tower down in one way or another, whether it's denied or not. Korok in the mid lane has picked up his Blink Dagger. And Venge, actually level 5, Venge not doing too bad. Almost has her ultimate up. But she will have to worry about a whole slew of supporting skills from Liquid. Surge, the Hand of God, which Fluff just now picked up, is level 6 on this Chen. So those skills will all be used to keep the swapped target safe. And even using the Vacuum might mean that the swap isn't a just complete get out of jail free card. Top lane tower, Bulba. Is he going to man up on this? He is not going to. Surging himself to run away. I think he was thinking about going in there, but decided against it. The first tower being taken by Fnatic as we take a look at the gold and experience chart. Not surprisingly, with the tower advantage that Liquid has, they are ahead. Experience advantage, though, very, very, very narrow, and I would say no experience advantage going either way, really. The lack of experience in the early game for the Darkseer really crippling Liquid in that early stage, but now he's going to find a little bit more free time, just sending Ion Shells down the lane. He could be a little more confident, although if he goes anywhere, he's going to be spotted out by these Observer wards. So Fnatic's warding, really making sure that Ira stays safe, and, well, he's died once due to that bottom lane gank, or I guess counter gank from Liquid. But hopefully Ira, for Fnatic's sake, will be able to stick on that bottom lane, just farm away. TC doing the same thing on the top side, has yet to pick up a point of those glaives, so he won't be pushing fast at all. He's 1,000 gold in the bank, and I do think the BKB will probably be the best choice for TC in this game. Block off the magic missile, block off the alchemist stun, get rid of all that Bat Rider damage as well. They will have to deal with a call down RP as well as a lasso, but hell, you're going to be those are going to be a problem no matter what, really. Liquid, they do have 3 on this bottom lane, 4 on this bottom lane. Looks like TC has left the lane for just a little bit of pushing action, going to get that additional damage aura onto his friendlies. It might be a tier 1 for a tier 1. No Tail with a double damage rune can make that happen very easily in the bottom lane, relatively untouched. So this might be Fnatic taking a free tower and them teleporting back in order to defend this one. Although it looks like they want to make a trade. They could still teleport. Still time. Still time for mass TPs, guys. The tower's going to drop. Everyone from Fnatic is going to run down and actually smoke up. There we go. TP's coming in. It's going to be a smoked up No-Tail. He's going to jump right in. However, the tower is going to die. No-Tail looking for the deny. Will find the deny. Well done. Pop the haste rune instantly. He's going to get stunned. Ira's going to get stunned. Ix Mike on the sidelines. He's going to be fine as well. The Hell Bear's taking a good amount of damage. Hand of God will be used probably to keep them alive. Tower does drop, denied by Fnatic, and Ix Mike is here with the Surge, with the Vendetta. He wants in. He's not going to find anyone, though. Now Liquid, are they actually going to keep pushing this? Very bold move from Liquid. They don't have the 3 creeps from Chen, who would still need a little bit more experience to get that. But he does have a full mech. Wow. Fluff and Stuff not messing around, just buying a completed mech, because what? Who bothers with parts? And Liquid, I guess they want to use the Primal Split from the Brewmaster, but Magnus has a Blink Dagger of his own. Was that 2,000 last time I clicked on him in this bottom lane? Now he has found enough gold to pick that one up, and gotta watch out for an RP, and especially if Trixie does this. Korok needs to get RP. There he goes. He's gonna die right before he gets split off. Call down as well. The Eclipse is gonna pop, might kill off No Tail. No, it's actually not gonna get anyone. Hand of God kind of being wasted there. If Mech is still available, TC turning around, doing the damage to Trixie, will find one kill in the Bat Rider. Now Fly might be in a little trouble as well. Bulba gonna start himself in for that Ion Shell damage versus Fly. Shockwave from the Satyr actually killing him off. It's gonna be in the end, a 2-for-2 trade from Liquid. Despite the initiation from Fnatic, they burned everything that they had to kill off the Brewmaster. RP, Lasso, both. And, I mean, the Brewmaster's dead, so good job. But then at that point, you still have to worry about TC, who does do some pretty decent right-click damage with almost maxed out Lunar Blessing. So a little bit of maybe overcommitment from Fnatic. In the end, they did get a slightly better trade, picking off the Brewmaster in exchange for just a couple of supports.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
But in the end, it was probably... Overall, it was fairly even. Luna got a couple more kills, a couple more assists, though. So Luna getting a little bit more farm, I want to say, than the Gyrocopter. Yeah, just a little bit. But now they're going to dive once again for Fly. Oh, Korok getting pushed in just a little bit too close. Skewering back from No Tail, but there's the split. Korok wants blood right now. He's going to go straight for this Magnus. In the meantime, not too shabby on the run from Chen as well as IX Mike. Trixie with the Firefly going to try to help out, but the Chen in the end does kill the Alchemist. Nick's Assassin going to pay for it with his life, but Trixie is going to get brought down from a Lucent Beam. Now No Tail has to fight his way out of this Brewmaster split. Korok in return, going to get the clap off. Call down though, cooled down from Ira. Going to land once at the Korok. Korok should be dead right here. The Drunken Haze is going to help out a little bit, but the Rocket Barrage doesn't care if he can hit or not. TC now on the run. Is there a skewer? Is there anything? No, there's not. TC just barely going to get out of there with his life, but the fight might not be over just yet. Fluff and Bulba still around. Trixie with the Flame Break as well as a Blink Dagger. Going to look for Fluff. Will cancel off the TP, and now Fluff is going to die. Surrounded by one too many heroes, and in the end, Liquid kind of lose some on the way out, but 7-9 still the score. Relatively even this game has been. But Magnus now does have his RP cooling down. I mean, each time these teams fight, they burn one of their ultimates, and the other team does not. So it's going to be kind of a seesawing battle from here on out, I feel, unless they wait and delay their engagement for another 2 minutes for Brewmaster Ultimate to cool down. Then we'll really see how these fights go, like in a full mano-on-mano fist fight, as opposed to the, first you tie your hand behind your back, then I'll tie my hand behind my back, and then we'll see how we could do with only one arm. Bat Rider looking for his treads. Has been farming relatively decently in the jungle, all things considered. But we really need to look for a couple more of those effective Blink Lasso ganks that don't completely burn everything on one hero. Even though Korok is, I would say, the biggest problem for Fnatic just with that split, investing the Lasso and then an RP on it might be a little bit of overkill. TC is going to go for that BKB rush. Has yet to die in this game. Gold minute though overtaken by Ira, who's looking to get a Shadow Blade. Empower starting to get leveled up as well. Magnus has hit the level 11 mark, so good experience on No Tail. Really going to help out Ira in that damage, and he does have a Shadow Blade. Will be spotted out by Liquid, so they will be forced to bring around some True Sight if they want to kill off this hero. And so far, they do not have any True Sight. Although instantly, you can see IX Mike buying up some dust. Well played by Liquid there. If this was a pub game, they wouldn't be aware that there was a gyrocopter on the map, because that's how pubs roll, man. That is just how pubs roll. Might look for Ira on this top lane. Is there the dust? Has been delivered? It still hasn't. They could try to chain stun him down, but I don't think that'll actually work. Definitely will not work. 17 minutes in, take another look at the gold. Very even. Experience a little bit in favor of Fnatic, actually, because of how they're farming. But really, for all intents and purposes, this game is even. This will favor Fnatic in the long run, even though Alchemist is going to go full on support with a mech even. He's not getting that much farm, but hell, even if you cut off an Alchemist's farm, just having that reduced base attack time from Chemical Rage means that he could put out some decent damage, especially with the minus armor from the Acid Spray. I mean, the Acid Spray together with him and the Gyrocopter doing right clicks, that's a lot of hurt, especially when you have the Empower on top of all of that. So Liquid, I think they're running on a clock, but they still have quite a large amount of time to burn before that clock actually gets to be before the straits get too dire and the clock starts running out. They still have a lot of time before they actually have to make things happen, before they're just going to get completely outclassed in the late game. Korok, his ultimate is only going to get stronger still moving on in this game once he hits the Aghanim Scepter mark, once he hits the level 16 mark. Tier 1 tower might be killed right now. Ix might get a circle around, might go for Trixie. Korok gonna blink in. There's gonna be no Batrider initiation for this fight. Colin gonna come, but a 3-man RP. Where's the Skewer? Hand of God's gonna fly out there. Gonna take a lot of damage. Korok gonna get the split off just barely, though, living at 100 HP. Now the Rocket to Era will kill him off Eclipse as well. Gonna burn down the mag. Alchemist, Dimensional Spirit, the only one left. Alchemist gets set up into the air. He's dead meat. Fly on the run will be the only one to survive. It looks like Vacuum is going to pull Not Too Shabby right back in. He's going to get the stun on Ix Spike, which might allow for the Magnus to kill him off the Shockwave. Yes, it will. Buybacks from Fnatic, but Liquid taking a crushing fight right there, only losing the Nyx, with Korok barely getting his ultimate off. I mean, he was right in the edge of the call down, so he got all the missile damage. He got the right click focus from the gyrocopter. But you know what? He had just enough durability with almost with 3 points in that Drunken Brawler. Dodge some hits, stay alive at 100 HP, get your split off, turn the fight around. And also very effective initiation from Liquid, shutting down the Batrider, the one who usually does get those initiations to happen, got initiated just because of the scouting from Ix Mike. He was back here, he knew exactly where the Batrider was, and that allowed for Korok to get in there. Despite the fact that Fnatic had a 3-man RP, there was simply no follow-up after that. I mean, the Magnus was wailing away, but that was pretty much it. Everyone else from Fnatic was just a little bit too far away to really contribute to bringing targets down successfully. So the RP not really resulting in too much for the Fnatic side. They're looking to kind of fix that problem, though, with another smoke gank. Going to go straight for the mid lane where Ix Mike is going to fall back. Fly, No Tail going to head up towards the high ground. They're going to spot out Chen. Although Chen is also going to spot out Vengeful Spirit. Blink into Lasso onto Fluff and stuff. This is going to be a dead Chen. He does have the mech, but he's completely surrounded and he's going to get stunned and he's going to get killed. TC now on the run as well. Might get swapped back. Will be fine, actually. Fly a little bit in the wrong position for a good swap. It's going to be a free pickup on the Chen for the Fnatic side. Now they're going to push this tier 2 tower. Liquid, do they have any ultimates? They have the Vendetta, but it's gonna cool. We're gonna run out soon. Level 1 wall, not the most useful, and split still not up. RP and is up actually. So this should be an easy tower for Fnatic. Despite though, there's the RP. Gonna catch only TC. Gonna bring him back. 4-man skewer. 4-man in the Impale actually. Gonna set up for the wall as well. Korok gonna dive right in with that Iron Shell on top of him. Not too shabby. Gonna get focused down by TC, who is gonna pop the BKB for this one. Fly can get burned down by the Iron Shell. Lucent Beam gonna finish him off. Now Era and No Tail both on the run. Shadowblade will keep them alive, as will Skewer. But Liquid, oh no, it might not keep him alive. They do know where he is, and he's trapped in the corner. Blink forward from Korok. Impale through. And Liquid take another fantastic fight. Gotta say, a lot of that being attributed to this assassin once again, and conveniently enough for Era, they led Liquid straight into the Roshan pit. So it's like, hey, there's Roshan, you should take him after you take me. But really, Ix Mike making a huge play there with a 3-man Impale. It wasn't so that Liquid could follow up with the damage. It was mostly so that they could focus on the only one who wasn't caught in that Impale. And even though Magnus got the RP onto TC, the BKB keeping him safe throughout that fight, and Liquid just playing just very well versus Fnatic. I mean, they're not getting too over jumpy with their initiation, and with the initiation from Fnatic, they're really keeping their cool, and it's really paying off for them, landing several people in that Impale. Really setting up for the rest of that fight from Liquid. Even Korok jumping in with his without his ultimate, which is always a scary prospect if you're a Brewmaster. If you don't have your ultimate, you're like, oh shit, I'm not going in there. That's dangerous. But jumping in with the Iron Shell with that clap, it does do some pretty decent damage, and it did allow for Liquid to clean up all or most of Fnatic. But still, this game is not in Liquid's is not out of Fnatic's grasp by any means. Even though the experience and gold still going in favor of Liquid, all they need is for Era to get empowered and to open up with a couple flat cannon shots, because Liquid, they still will take a good amount of damage with that because of that acid spray. So Fnatic could take a good team fight. That means RP onto a couple of heroes and then actually have damage to follow that up. Then they'll be looking to be pretty good in this game, but Liquid so far not letting Fnatic actually get that done. Now the mid lane might be pushed now from Liquid. Fly and Era both got to watch out. The initiate from Liquid, aside from Korok, is extremely light. And will they go for Era if they spot him out? They might just choose to go for Fly. There's the blink clap. Fly gonna get split upon. Might be a little bit of overkill. Vengeful Spirit is definitely dead. But is that really worth it? I guess they didn't know where everyone else was. Top lane, though, I mean, they did see 3 up on that lane, so a little bit of a wasted split from Korok. I mean, that's a dead Vengeful Spirit, but typically you want to use that ultimate in a team fight, not in a gank. The push is going to continue, though. Mech as well as 2 sets of arcane boots.
Breaking down the radiant
2 sets of
structures
arcane
like
boots will give
Radiant's mid tower's
Liquid a lot of longevity in this push, but they gotta watch out for this. Bat Rider gonna blink forward straight for TC. He has the Aegis, however, so he should be relatively okay. Impale onto the Trixie. Now TC gonna pop the BKB, go straight for Trixie. He will be able to bring him down. In the meantime, Korok and the rest of Liquid are back here. RP only onto TC once again, and there's no follow-up. Call down has already been used. Bulba gonna drop the wall right on top of everyone, gonna make copies of everything. Eclipse as well, and Fnatic are just going to burn. Liquid do lose the Darks here in the end, but that's the only casualty. Bat Rider down. Alchemist and Gyrocopter forced to go back and heal up. Wall has been expended as well. TC, though, still does have the Aegis. Impale onto Ira, going to set up for the Centaur movement, for the Stomp, for the Panda Clap as well. Ira going to drop despite the stun from the Alchemist, which is going to hold out Korok for just a little bit. But TC still with the damage, still using those claves to kill off the buildings at the exact same time, still with the Aegis on top of that. And Liquid, with a decisive push, without split, mind you, take the mid lane Raxes. It's not looking good for Fnatic right now. It was looking decent up until then, but just such perfect fights being fought by Liquid. The initiation from Fnatic, it's been there. I mean, they've used it, but it hasn't really been fully effective. RP onto 1 with no damage output is a wasted RP. That's just like a magic missile right there. What they really needed was to get their initiation all together at the same time. Make sure that they have the Bat Rider jump in, separate Liquid, try to get them to chase after TC and try to save their buddy, and then make sure that Magnus is right behind them, make sure Ira is right behind him with that Empower on the Gyrocopter in order to deal the damage on the clumped up, stunned because of the RP Liquid heroes. It's kind of a lot to ask for, but still, they're not able to do it. Liquid playing rather defensively, leaving TC out to be dragged up onto the side area with only IX Mike there to support him, following up with the Spike Carapace to slow down the Bat Rider just a little bit. But they're leaving, they're making sure that they don't clump up, and really that's extremely hard to do in this game, because if you see your Luna getting pulled away, your first reaction is go, shit, I better protect my hard carry, because it's your hard carry. That's what you do in this game. You protect your Luna. But leaving your Luna to dry in exchange for keeping your positioning, that takes a lot of discipline. And Liquid so far showing that they have that discipline after taking the mid lane Rax is going to go now for the tier 2 on the bottom lane. Should be easy gold for them. With everyone except for Korok going to make sure that they secure that tower. Korok does now have Vlad's going to go for his Aghanim Scepter. Kind of a weird build up for Brewmaster, but at the same time it does make sense. If you're going to go for a lot of pushing, you want to get that aura, because Aghanim Scepter, yes, it does help your team fight, but they're not focused on team fight. They want to use the Chen power while they still can with these creeps in order to get as much pushing as possible. And now it's really paying off for them so far. Ice Mike even found a Blink Dagger. You get a mana burn onto Not Too Shabby, but Force Staff from the Magnus actually going to save that Alchemist. It's not going to be enough to save the tier 2 tower. Top lane Ira might make a trade, but he's going to have to fall back right now. Skewer back onto Korok with a one-man RP. Once again, not the optimum situation. Everything's being used on Korok, and it's not even going to work. The mech, as well as the Hand of God. Korok not even going to split. Doesn't even have to. With Bat Rider down, RP down, I don't think Fnatic have enough gas to keep going in this game. They'll keep throwing out spells. Korok now he's going to split. Who's it going to be? Is it Ira or No Tail? Ira's going to block off the boulder with his BKB. Not Too Shabby. Going to get cornered. There's the back into a wall. Calldown's going to drop, but it's not going to count to anything. The Earth aspect is going to be left all alone. Actually, no, Storm aspect is also going to get out of there. But it's going to be a lot of ultimates used to push Fnatic back into their base and get another set of Raxes. TC with the Glaive bounce is going to be hugely harassing. Look at this damage just from the Glaives, burning down Magnus. Now Ira, without BKB, is going to die as well. That's going to be game, ladies and gentlemen. Stun to Korok and TC, but it's already over. Ira going to call it. And after 27 minutes of gameplay, Liquid take game number 1 in a slow and steady Liquid-esque game. Making sure that they have the pushing and getting the key items up on TC with very, very disciplined play. They're going to take it 1 over Fnatic, so keep in mind this is a best of 3 and the loser does go home. I guess they're in their homes already because it's an online tournament. But yeah, that's going to be it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I realized that, well, when I casted this today, it's Friday. I completely forgot that yesterday was Thursday and I forgot to stream. So, oops. But yeah, hopefully we'll get a stream going or something like that. Anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. Other than that, enjoy and GG.